Hi, my name is Mike Ziba and I'm making knives since 2009 in Brooklyn, New York.
My name is Sebastian Berengi from Borka Blades. I make knives about 5 years. I collect knives all my life since I was probably 4 years old.
My name is Anthony Marfione. I've been making knives now for 27 years. This year is kind of special because it's a Microtech Corporation, was founded in I think 94, so this would be our 25th year anniversary year, which we're pretty excited about.
So my name's Doug Esposito. I have attention to detail mercantile. We do knives and some soft goods that my partner does. I've been making knives for about 1.5 years now.
I'm Mark from Beg Knives, and we started this company 7 years ago. And we built a group of guys that we call the California Custom Group, which is a group of 5 guys who all contribute their craftsmanship and knowledge to where our knives are today.
Brad Zinker, I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. Just moved there and been making knives. Made my first one in 1984. Started it then, took me 1.5 years to finish it. Got me hooked. Been at it pretty steady ever since.
It's Enrique Peña. I've been making knives since I was about 13 years old. I started making them on a stone grinder out of old files. Kind of left it for a while and then found it again and just kept making knives. So basically I've been making knives since I was like 13, but became a full-time knife maker in 2008 after I got laid off. And to be honest, the best thing that's ever happened to me, or one of the best, and this is what I do for a living, not looking for anything else to do, and I really enjoy it.
Started making knives, I was hanging out with people who makes knives, so I wanted to make my first knife, and I did, and from there it just took off.
What got me to make knives? Passion, probably passion, hunting, and many other things. Cooking, for the cooking knives, that's for sure, and something that I couldn't buy, so I have to make by myself.
I think I was working for Reed Knight at the time, Knight's Armament, and a little prior to that I'd always dabbled into, machine work, making knives, making trinkets. I could never really afford anything really good, so I did make my own pocket knife, and I still have it. It's extremely crude.
Was doing a lot of woodworking and other things and decided to try my hand at working with some steel. I'm lucky enough to have some longtime friends in the industry, so I was able to get a good jump start on stuff that would take people a long time, like heat treat and all that kind of stuff, but having a blast doing it and trying to get better every day.
At the end of the day, the industry was just really nice to give some pointers, and I did make a pocket knife that was just well received. It was didn't have a name for it. It was a small switchblade, and when I'd go to work, the guys would look at it and they'd say, "Hey man, Tony, let me see that micro knife." It's like, yeah, oh, the micro knife, and they'd say, "Yeah, that's very micro. That's Microtech." That's how the name came about. So that was from a SEAL team commander that we used to work with, and he said, "Man, that's all we'd really need is just something cool to put in your pocket to use for utility." And that's how I came up with the name, is they called it the micro knife or the Microtech.
Well, I like titanium, I like carbon fiber, I don't like overly fancy materials. I like knives to be functional and elegant, but easy to carry, and you don't need to be afraid you're gonna scratch them and beat them up. So I like finishing and materials to use that actually not gonna put a lot of not gonna mess up a knife if you carry it. Yeah.
I love to work with mostly Damascus. That's why some of the new ones will be with Damascus, but in general it's only titanium. Some of them new ones also carbon fiber that we source only from Matt Diskin. That's only our one source for that material.
Stag for handles, titanium for the frames, CPM 154 for the steel. I do like Damascus, Damasteel, and anything Chad Nichols makes.
I don't know. I hear a lot of knife makers say they love this because it's so easy, and maybe I don't have enough experience to really compare and contrast, but I haven't had any real problems with any one material, so I haven't had one where I'm like, this is a lot better. Now, the different materials based on the performance and the things that you're looking for, that's kind of, I want to make sure that the tool that's made is going to be supported by the material for the job.
We go through a lot of Damascus, obviously, because people seem to love that. But I mean, we created Star Strike, which is a unidirectional copper material, a carbon fiber that we did a collaboration with Blaser Rifles with. That was pretty cool. It's pretty neat to see a $20,000 rifle get made out of that material. So I'd say I'm a little partial to that material.
My favorite materials are probably the natural materials that are used in some of the traditional knives, although they're very hard to come by nowadays. But still, those are my favorite things, natural as can be.
Ah, man, it's all in the steel, right? Right now, we're working with Carpenter. We're very proud to say that Microtech is 100% domestic made. We don't make anything in the Asian sector, and we don't make anything outside of our factories in general. I think we're right at about 98 percentile. So everything you see on these knives, with the exception of a few springs, we don't print our own printing, and we don't do our own anodizing yet, but we make everything within the confines of our factory. So right now we're working with Carpenter on the 204P, which is outstanding material. And of course, we'll continue to use the M390 for as long as it's available. Makers here, we like to work with Chad Nichols. We like to work with a couple other Russian makers on some new steels, but titanium, aircraft alloys, that's been the matrix of what we do.
So I've pretty much been sticking with the basics. I'm trying to kind of work on my skills and elevate the art for me. So I'm sticking with the Tonto is very, standard. The Fighter's very standard, and the Bowie's very standard. I feel like there's so much in there, so much to learn and so much to do that I'm doing them in different sizes and with different features, but I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel right now.
The favorite model that I make is probably the Lanny's clip, for sure. Something that I'm really fond of, that I'm currently building, is the Valley Songs.
I think that my favorite model is MS3 that sells also with KnifeCenter, pretty much. So that's my favorite. Also my EDC for everyday use.
The Urban Trapper, that's my favorite. I got a collaboration with Boker on that and several different models of it.
Favorite model is the Stitch. I mean, I like the Stitch. I like every one of my models are favorite. I like them, but I know that people's favorite model is the Stitch. So yeah.
My favorite model is the newest model that we just did, which is the Mandara, which is it's a Persian designed by Jared Van Otterloo, and definitely my favorite model.
I carry one of my production knives, and why? Because I can beat it, and it takes a beating too.
This is the EDC I've been carrying lately. This is a new model we have coming out called the Vincero. This is actually, whenever we get a prototype of a knife, I EDC it until we actually go into production, because I want to see if I foresee anything with that knife that I might not like, or have other people check it out.
My EDC is one of the first Tontos that I made because I dig it, and it's not good enough for me to sell, but it's certainly good enough for me to carry and use. It's made out of 3V, so I carry that a lot. And then so that's my fixed blade, and then my folder EDC is an old Strider Gunner Grip standard S&G.
Combat Tron, all variations. I love it, I love it, I love it.
I carry a modified Urban Trapper that thinner than normal, and just a frame lock. It's what my go-to everyday knife.
As far as any other EDCs, I have knives from other makers. Sebastian's knives are my absolute favorite. If you don't see me with a Microtech or see me with a Marfione Custom, you're gonna see me with a Borka blades in my pocket.
Right now, I EDC the Stitch. Sometimes I have something else. It's like, doesn't really matter. Depends how I feel. I like to switch up knives. I'm a knife fanatic. I EDC other people's knives as well. I'm a collector in my heart too. I collect knives and I make knives too.
Favorite makers? This guy right here, Sebastian Berengi.
Thanks.
And what do we like to do mostly?
Motorboating.
We like to go motorboating.
Yep.
The next big thing is what we're all chasing after. What it is, I don't know. but I think, you know, modern materials, different locking mechanisms, and I see a lot of automation coming into the industry as well. Where it's going, I don't know, but we'll ride along.
Ooh, that's hard. I'm not good at looking into the future. Give me the tough question here. The industry seems strong now. There's a lot of talent out there. This room's full of it.
Boy, where do I see the industry going? Boy, don't we all want to know that? I definitely see we're seeing an uptick in just really super high quality production knives. And we see that, I think in the last couple of years, we've just seen production knives approach custom levels on kind of many different levels as far as, that's kind of where I see things going. I mean, that's just my own, my own 2 cents. I don't know if it counts for anything, but that's kind of where I see things going.
You know, honestly, I've been around the industry for a long time. Like I said, I've got a lot of friends in the industry. I came from a military and a gun background, so been going to SHOT Show, been going to a lot of these shows for upwards of 20 years. I think it'll continue. People will continue to find their niches, and you know, some people like the flipper, you know, the flippers, and some people like folders, and some people like, you see people going back to classic designs with more modern materials. I think that it'll just continue to spread, and people will kind of develop different aspects and continue to develop different niches. I don't know of any quantum jumps that are poised to take place in the knife world. I see people continuing to elevate and take things to the next step.
Keep an eye on Microtech and you'll see where the industry's going over the next 5 years. That's all I'm going to say.
Next big thing for me, it's a body song for only probably and only one dealer. It's KnifeCenter. That will be one. A body song. And what will be next? Probably more people will make body songs and slip joints. So probably you will see more pieces like that coming around, especially out of me.
Where the industry is going, I really don't know. I'm just having fun with it. I'm doing what I like. I'm actually want to work on large stitches this year more than, because I try some other stuff and that's what actually people like. That's what I like. I like them all. But industry definitely going towards motorboating. That's the #1 thing.